So, if you guys remember, I've done this a few times where I've talked about, like, what if this person was another person's hero? Or rather, this hero was the protector of another city. What would it be like if they encountered their villains? Stuff like that. So, I thought it'd be kind of fun to do that again, but kind of change it around a little more. Because I make the rules here. It's my channel, my rules. That's how that works. I'm just playing. Yeah. So, this video is going to be talking about, as you can see from the title, what if the Lyoko Warriors became the Power Rangers? Yeah, Code Lyoko is one of my favorite anime of all time. Well, not really anime, but animated shows of all time, and I absolutely adore the show. I think it's a lot of fun. I still go back to it, even though yes, it still kind of has it's kind of problematic in certain places, whether it be writing or. I mean, I understand that like France has a different take on how they view nudity, but like looking back on it, there's some stuff that's a little fucked up. But anyway, aside from that, I think it's a fun show, and I thought it'd be kind of fun since we are still in the year of the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers, and yeah. So you may be thinking, well, this would be easy. It would just be them, just acting as that. But no, it's a little different because here in this what if scenario, we're more or less talking not so much about them becoming Power Rangers. Not just that. We're gonna talk about like how would they handle Rita? How would they handle Zed? How would they handle all of these other factors? Because you see, one of the things they didn't have to worry about was someone over. The only person they really had to watch over, Jeremy was the only person who was really like a leader, kind of but there was no like mentor or anything. So what's it going to be like if they have if they have to answer to Zordon? Like how does that play? How does that factor in to these? How does this factor into these kind of situations? And that's what we're going to be, talking about. So, yeah, so let's get started. It's late and I'm tired. But yeah, so for starters, we're going to talk about, like, who would be what ranger. Going to be a shock to everyone, but I am not having Ulrich be the Red Ranger. He is way too emotional, way too reactive to be the leader. So I think if Zordon brought these teenagers with attitude together, it'd be Yumi as the Red Ranger. Yumi's the most focused, most calm. She's also, like, if you were to look at who would be a field leader in the group, it'd be Yumi. Like, Yumi makes the most sense to be the Red Ranger, in my opinion. She's the most level-headed, she's the calmest, and she's the one who actually thinks of some really good plans when Jeremy isn't around. So I would vote Yumi as the Red Ranger. Ulrich, I think I would have as the Black Ranger. Just because he's not going to be the leader, but he is going to be that. Odd, you get to be the Odd get to be the Yellow Ranger. Because we don't have... Well, we do have 5 teens with attitude right here. So Odd gets to be the Yellow Ranger. I would say Aelita is the Pink Ranger, because color coordination. We gotta have at least one color coordination for one character. And, of course, Jeremy, our favorite science nerd, is the Blue Ranger. So those are our Rangers. If I was to pick who Rita would pick as the Green Ranger, it's obviously William. So William would be later the Green Ranger. So now that we have our Rangers, we have the Rangers color coordinated, what would it be like if you had these guys, as, answering to Zordon? Remember, these kids really had one boss, and that was themselves. Jeremy, you could say they answered to, but they didn't answer. That was like, it was more like, hey, you know how to run this shit, Einstein. Show us what to do. And that's really what it comes down to, is that they didn't have a leader. They didn't have like a mentor. So some of them might take offense, might not like the idea of having someone like over their shoulder telling them what to do while they're fighting putties. Especially Ulrich. We all know Ulrich would be the problem child among them all. Odd maybe, but like, let's be real. It's gonna be Ulrich who's gonna be like shit talking Zordon and like, why do I I don't why do we have to answer to you? I have to answer to my parents all the time. You're not my. He would literally. We all know Ulrich would pull out the "You're not my dad." You know it. I know it. We all know he would pull out that "You're not my dad" shit on Zordon. And that might cause some friction in the team, especially when they're fighting monsters. And I do imagine Ulrich would be probably out there causing just a wee bit of chaos among he'd just be causing just all kinds of like going off on his own or fighting Goldar on his own or trying to do this and that. It would be a nightmare. It would be just he would go rogue so many times it wouldn't even be funny, because that's what Ulrich is. He is such a fucking problem child. Odd, I think, would also cause some dissension, but more for good humor. Yumi, Jeremy, and Aelita, I think would be the most responsive to Zordon, and I also think that Aelita would be the nicest. I think also Odd would torment Alpha. I think we all know Alpha 5 would just be tormented by just jokes after jokes after pranks after pranks after pranks. Odd would just look at Alpha 5 once and go, "You are my new pet project." For what? For pranks. Oh no. So yeah, poor Alpha is just gonna get tormented by Odd. So how would they act in accordingly? Fighting monsters sent by Rita. I think they would definitely work as a coordinated team. I feel like Yumi, this is why I would have Yumi as the Red Ranger, is because Yumi would be the one who would be listening to Zordon the most, as well as coordinating with the team constantly. The big thing is that, yes, Jeremy doesn't have... It's not like with Billy, who did have some fighting... who did know how to fight a little bit. Jeremy doesn't know how to fight at all. So he's going to need to be the one with the most practice. And that might be causing a weak link in the chain. But Zordon, I think, would give him some encouragement. I also do think that the rest of the team would be willing to train him. As much as Ulrich would be a problem in this, it would be kind of an asshole in this team, I do think that he would definitely take Jeremy under his wing and teach him his, Savat and Penchik Silek. I do think that would be a case for that. Now, operating Zords, Jesus Christ, I shudder to think what these kids would do with Zords. It would, oh god, it would just be an absolute shit show in every, the first time around at least. It would just be an absolute shit show in every sense of the word, of just imagining these kids trying to pilot a Zord. Oh my god, I can't even, begin to imagine. But yeah, this... I do think that they would all, I also think that with these monsters, Rita, Zed, and whoever else comes their way, these guys would be... Here's the problem. I think, Rita would realize these kids are, hormonally stressed out and way more, problematic than... the kids at Angel Grove, because they were all pure of heart. They were all teenagers with attitude, but they were all, good guys. Here, these kids will, everyone in Caddick will literally turn on each other on a dime. I'm not even joking. So, could you just imagine Rita just watching them from her palace and being like, God damn, these kids are horny as fuck. I just need to make a female monster and make Ulrich and Yumi just fight for the umpteenth time. So, yeah, just a few things like that. But you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think it would be like if the Lyoko Warriors became the Power Rangers? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.